Welcome to another edition of Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast, with your host, Brandon Morrell.
Hey guys and gals, this is recording artist Ward Davis, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio podcasts and on the sportsguyspodcast.com at thwn.org.
And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Of course, busy day full of shows and a busy week. Hope everybody's staying warm across the U.S. of A. with all this cold weather coming in. Very unusual this time of year. Maybe for some parts of the country it is more usual than others, but I can tell you for Texas down here, speaking for the Texans, very cold. Hope you guys are staying warm and sitting back and listening right here. KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and the Sports Guys podcast.com anytime out there. iHeartRadio podcast, a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment out there too. I tell you what, he's got a great new song out there called Nothing on You, featuring the great Juliana Rankin, and of course the brand new record comes out across all the DSPs. Here I am. Well, here he is, recording artist Ward Davis to the program. Ward, what's going on, man?
Aloha, sir. How are you doing?
It is good, man, and I hope everybody's just staying warm, right? Just unusual weather, huh?
Oh yeah, man. By the grace of God, I haven't lost power in all of this. Sometimes the storms just kind of go right around me. So it's pretty icy out there, but man, I've stayed warm. Kids are warm. Everybody's safe.
That's a good thing out there too. Hey, let's start with the single. Of course, I mentioned the album there. Here I Am, coming out February 13th across all the DSPs. People download early pre-save links out there too. Nothing on You. Fantastic lady, Juliana Rankin. Tell us all about this single and how this collaboration came together.
Man, Juliana's a friend of mine, and she is an enormous talent, man. I'd written that song with my friends Greg Jones and Clint Park, 2018, 19, somewhere in there. We wrote it on my bus. I had an old Freightliner bus. But anyway, we wrote it, and man, it's a duet, and I didn't really meet my duet partner until I met Juliana, and even then, it wasn't even I met my duet partner. I just met this girl that could just sing her absolute ass off every time she opened her mouth, and she's 28, I think, and she's living down in Austin. She's wanting to get in the music business. And I was like, man, people need to hear this girl. And I had, I was working on a record and I wanted to record that song. And I asked her if she would sing on it. And I played it for her and she just loved it. And man, she came in and she mopped the floor. Man, she just sang her butt off, man. She's got a song on Landman now. She's got a record deal. She's got so many great things going. My original intention was to introduce her to, my fans. And I think at some point it's probably going to work the other way around.
Well, she is an extreme talent, no doubt, too. Hey, let's talk about, you could just keep grinding. You've been in this thing a long time, and nothing ever comes easy in this thing called the music business, whether putting out a single or a full-length album. What continues to motivate you to just give back to the fans, all this great music, the writing, the songs, taking the stage, of course, because you've really, and we'll talk about some of the latest accomplishments, but you've really done it all. What continues to motivate you through all this?
Man, I got two little girls. I got a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. I'm 46. What motivates me, man? I mean, they motivate me to do the work. Life motivates me to write the music just in general. I've gotten to a point, I spent, 20 years or 15 years in the Nashville system and 26 years now in the business. I've written thousands of songs, man. And, when you write thousands of songs, you've got a lot of old stuff. You got a lot of new stuff coming out. And I hit a point in my career where, you kind of you kind of tend to avoid the ones that didn't make it, the songs that for one reason or the other didn't appeal to the people that were listening to them at the time. And so I do find myself going back and finding older songs to re-record and bring new life to them. I'm motivated less to write now than ever. Motivated more to tour and play. I'm really selective about when I write and what I write about, and who I'm writing with. Because life's a lot slower now, I guess. There's not as much turmoil. I quit drinking, almost 5 years ago. And now when I write, now when I play, dude, like I gotta say, it's just because I enjoy it. It is my living, but it's man, it's just a good time anymore. It's about the art, and it's about the process. I love that. I love it.
That's a good thing you say that too, because it is an art, it is a craft, no doubt, and it takes a certain skill to perform on stage when you get out there too, and also the fans keep you coming back to as well, because they recite the lyrics, back to you out there when you guys are doing the live shows. Hey, talk about me and you, no stranger to collaborations with the great Willie Nelson, and of course touring with Cody Jenks, and watching guys like that continue to stand the test of time and go out there and do their thing, and even Merle Haggard and stuff like that. You've been around it, you mentioned, a long time too. Really cool to see legends still just continuing on doing their thing. And you mentioned the touring and shaking hands, and I say sometimes kissing babies and giving autographs and meeting the fans after shows. Talk about that for me.
It's with fans, man. Like the way I approach all of that, dude. I when I write my songs and I record them, even now and then I'll record one that I didn't write, dude. My songs, I try to keep just a real vulnerable human being in every one of them. But I focus more in on the human part, and so we might even circle back and say the one thing that does fuel me. I don't know if you call it fuel, but man, the most gratifying thing for me is when somebody comes up to me and tells me how my music has affected their life in a positive way. Man, and it's amazing that a guy walked up to me one night, man. I was in Alpharetta, Georgia, with Cody and Clint Black, and I was standing out front watching the show, and I had this little bubble where there was security around us, and this guy came over to the rail and he said, "Hey man, hey," he said, "your music saved my life." And the security guard was trying to, and I was like, "Hey, hold on." I said, "Man, tell me about that, please." And he said, "Man, I'm a firefighter." And he said, he said, "I had a house fall in on me one night. I don't remember if he said a house or a floor or something, but a building came down on him and he got trapped." And he said, "I was trapped underneath it for 7 or 8 hours. I can't remember. But," he said, "I sang your songs the whole time." He said, "It got me through that." He said, "I was scared. I was trapped." He's like, "But I just sang your songs in my head the whole time, and that got me through it." And man, that's amazing. Like, just a bunch of stupid songs, when they come out, you record them, and, we can all pretend that we're doing it for one reason or another, but man, it's just a bunch of stupid songs that we're writing and getting out of ourselves and putting them out. And man, to have somebody tell you that, golly, dude, what an amazing reward for what we do, because it's not, I mean, dude, this is a hard business, man. It's hard to make money. Like, it is hard to make money doing this. And when you strip it down to bare metal and you take all of that out of it, man, the greatest thing the greatest thing that comes from this is touching people with your music.
We're going to touch some people with a song right here again, the brand new record, February 13th. Here I Am, Ward Davis. Here it is, the Backstage Pass. Great title here, so bear with me. Downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. Here is the Backstage Pass. More to come. Ward Davis, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network out there, iHeartRadio Podcast, thwn.org, and the sportsguyspodcast.com. Back in a flash. Stay tuned.
I could turn that bottle over, I could pour it in a glass, throw away 3 years of sober, and then stay drunk off my ass. Lord knows I won't regret it, and it won't kill me to try. What a downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. And I could fall back in with the devil, and I won't go down in flames. Give in to what feels right tonight, that'll set right everything. Go back to who I used to be, who don't love that guy. What a downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. I could take her up on her offer, I'd love to tell her yes, and maybe this time I could stop her from turning my life into a mess. And I bet that she'd be different, she won't claw out my eyes. What a downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. And I could fall back in with the devil, and I won't go down in flames. Give in to what feels right tonight, that'll set right everything. Go back to who I used to be, who don't love that guy. What a downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. Stupid, beautiful lie.
Hey guys and gals, this is Colby Calais, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass with Brandon Morell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on iHeartRadio Podcasts. It's a grand slam of music, entertainment, and sports.
Are you looking to increase your online presence? Are you searching for a new logo or company branding? Have you been considering more ways to reach the world with your business, ministry, or church's message? Barkley Music and Media is an award-winning design company that utilizes the latest technology while keeping the integrity of over 30 years of customer service. Web design, graphic design, multimedia, video editing, voiceover, commercials, logo design and branding, photography, and much, much more. See portfolios and testimonials online at www.barkleymusicandmedia.com or contact them today at 502-382-8299. Barkley Music and Media, your connection for the best in multimedia. Call today, 502-382-8299, or go to www.barkleymusicandmedia.com. Barkley Music and Media, integrity, technology, and design. www.barkleymusicandmedia.com.
What's up, Farm Flops? This is recording artist Hastings, and you're listening to the best in music, sports, and entertainment. It's the Backstage Pass with Brandon Morell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on thwn.org. You can also stream on iHeartRadio podcasts. You're going to be glad you did.
And back here, Ward Davis on the show here. Downright awful, stupid, beautiful lie. So I always say about songs too, Ward, it's always important to start any album with the right track. And with this one, this is going to definitely kind of like fishing. You want to get that big fish on the hook out there and catch the biggest one you can do it. I think you guys did that with this particular song. Talk about this one for me.
Well, okay, two things, man. First of all, I don't know why. I was distracted. I can't explain it. But, dude, all right, my engineer, when he mixed this record, he did it in no particular order. And when I sent them the Dropbox file, they never asked for an order for the songs, and I just never said anything. So it is by absolute sheer luck that song is the first song on the record. And in hindsight, I went back and listened to it. I was like, man, this is a pretty good sequence how this all fell out. It's like, and but anyway, yeah, so that was a total accident. But the song itself came from a place that, you know, that first verse in there, it's about my I've got a shelf full of liquor upstairs in my kitchen, and I quit drinking almost 5 years ago. Talk like whatever, but I walk by that liquor every day, and I look at it, and man, it ain't bothering me. And I look at it, I'm like, not today. And it's empowering. And so that first verse is, you know, basically what would happen if I did pull one of them down and started drinking it. But the second verse was an homage to my third ex-wife, and just kind of wrote it when I was mad at her. I told her later on we're cool, but I told her that there was going to be a couple of songs on here about her, and she was going to like one of them.
And you're right about that. Sometimes it just happens by chance, like stepping in a casino and wanting to win the jackpot. That happens. That your engineer had it right there too. And what a great song, I think, to really set the tone for the record. I love this one. I Need to Be Still, something we remind ourselves a lot these days too, no doubt. This is one of my favorite ones off of here. Give us a little backstory on that one.
Man, that song took me about 3 months to write. Man, it's pure hindsight. You know, I was married. I was married to my ex-wife Rachel, and we have 2 daughters. And I stepped out on that marriage, and it cost me my family. And I made that choice, you know. And toward the end of, and I'm married the girl that I stepped out with, you know, I wish I hadn't done that. And that song itself was slowly, like I said, it took me 3 months to write it. It was like it was just a slow manifestation in my own heart, writing what I wish had happened as it was coming out. And that is, it is essentially just hindsight. That's what I wish I would have done. I might still have my family. I might not, man. Me and Rachel might have gotten divorced, but yeah, that's a really I think that's my favorite song that I've ever written. I think I gave it more care than I've ever given any other song that I've written.
When you look back at this record too, and we talked about some of the songs off there too, we're going to play another one here just a little bit. Here I Am, coming out February 13th. Again, Ward Davis here on the Backstage Pass, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Was there a song or songs that when you stepped in the studio seemed more challenging than others, or was there one that kind of stuck out for you and said to itself, that's one that I remember writing, date, time, where I was, and how kind of songs just you said sometimes easily come to mind?
Man, I will tell you that the title track, "Here I Am," I recorded it and re-recorded it and re-recorded it over and over until I was happy with it, because it was so important to me. I didn't write that song. I heard that song about 10 or 11 days after I'd taken my last drink of alcohol. And it was just a song that spoke to me, and it was almost, I needed to hear it because I needed to be aware that I was going down a road that wasn't going to be all hunky-dory, and I needed to be aware, and I needed to pay attention to what was going on around me. And my friend Ronnie Bowman wrote that song, and he had played it for me, and man, it just blew me away. So when I recorded it, I gave that one a lot of time and made sure that we got it right and that it got the message out with the proper reverence.
Yeah, you did. And I'll tell you what, one of my favorite albums, and I always go back to the beginning, man, even 2015, when you started your career with that debut album, 15 years in a 10-year town. Just what a great song No Going Home was for country music fans, Texas country music fans, back in my early DJ days. And of course, I mentioned the collaborations with Willie and the old wore out Cowboys. Jamie Johnson was on there too. When you look back at that album and you start doing the songs and the shows, I'm sure those never get old to play because fans are going to resonate with those forever, right?
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's not hard. I love that I've spent so many years writing songs and so many years tucking them away. And when I made 15 years, when I made that album, man, I did it on a shoestring budget with my friend Moose Brown at his studio. Outside of Moose and outside of me and Moose, there were only two people playing on it. Mickey Raphael played harmonica, and Buddy Cannon, the Grammy Award-winning producer, came in and played bass on Old Wore Out Cowboys just to be funny. And but yeah, man, I love playing those songs. I love that when I can go back and listen to it, and I can hear the desperation in my own voice of how terrified I was to make it, how terrified I was to put it out, how bad I needed it to open doors for me. But it's a really, really, I don't think I'll ever have another record that means more than that one that I'll make. Yeah, it was, man, the best part, I'll tell you my favorite part about that album, dude, and sorry if I get to rambling here.
You're good.
Man, I used to hang out at this bar in Nashville called Dan McGinnis, and I used to go in there every day and hang out with these old songwriters, and they won't like me calling them old, but essentially they were a lot of not very much older than me, but one of them was a guy
Is your
named
home
Pat
or business
Alger,
in need of a fresh
and
look?
Pat and
Right
I are
Flow
still
Pressure
great
Washing and
friends.
Lawn
Pat
LLC
co-wrote
is
the
more than
Thunder
just pressure washing,
Rolls and
providing
Unanswered
professional cleaning for
Prayers,
homes, commercial
Small Town
buildings,
Saturday
parking lots,
Night,
roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and
right
so
down
much
the
more,
right down
including lawn
the
service and
bar
landscaping.
from
Our mission here
him
at Right
was
Flow is
always
to
this
exceed
guy
the
named
needs of all
Tony
our
Arata.
customers
And
while
Tony
providing all of our
wrote the
services at an
dance.
affordable rate.
Tony wrote
We're
the
committed
dance
to going
by
above and
himself.
beyond where the job is done right.
And
Give your
so I
property
would
the
go
care
in
it
there
deserves.
every day,
Call
and I
Right
would
Flow
sit
today at
there and I would talk to these old songwriter
409-363-2565
guys.
or
They
go
would
to
tell me stories about the
rightflowwashandlawn.com.
good old days. And there was even an old record executive there named Paul, and they would make fun of him because he dropped Johnny Cash from his label. So I would sit down there. But the day that I got the CDs printed for 15 years in a 10-year town, I took it down to the bar because Pat Alger and I wrote 15 years in a 10-year town together. And I came down there, and Tony Arata was the first one there. And I slid him a copy of it. I had 7 or 8 copies, and I slid one across to him, and he opened it up, and he looked at it, and he closed it, and he stood up out of his stool, and he said, "Ward, you wrote Unfair Weather Friend?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I co-wrote it." And he said, "That's it." he said, I'm leaving. I'm going home. I said, why? And he said, because I've been sitting here for years next to a blanking genius, and nobody told me. And I said, Tony, you need to sit your blank down. And he said, Ward, that was such a wonderful song. And I heard William Merle record on it. And he said, I had to pull my car over. It moved me so much. And man, there's a video on YouTube of me playing the dance in the 5th grade at my band concert. You know, this is a big thing. And anyway, that night I got home and he had written me an email, and it was just the most wonderful email I've ever received. And at the end of it, it said, Ward, I asked Dave Olney one time what he wanted from Nashville. And Dave told me that he wanted to make a record. And then Tony said what I took from that was that he wanted to stick his flag in the ground and say, I was here. And he said, you have done that, sir, and congratulations. And it was the best thing that I've ever read or received, and the greatest compliment too from a guy like that, man. And I'll never forget that.
Memories that will take forever. And like I said, while we're here on this earth, and like I said, in the afterlife after that too as well, memories that live on forever, just like these great tracks. And here's another one that's going to do well off this record. I just know it will too, because my ears, they like what they hear. Ward Davis, Here I Am, coming out February 13th, warddavismusic.com for all the tour dates. Wouldn't want to be me right now. We've said that many times in country music out here too. KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Back in a flash. Stay tuned.
Like the one in my hand, and I slowly but surely won't give a damn until I ain't got a clue to what's up
Howdy, y'all. This is recording artist Neil McCoy, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. That's where I come in. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream the show anytime at the sportsguyspodcast.com and on iHeartRadio Podcast. You can also stream at thwn.org.
Is your home or business in need of a fresh look? Right Flow Pressure Washing and Lawn LLC is more than just pressure washing, providing professional cleaning for homes, commercial buildings, parking lots, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and so much more, including lawn service and landscaping. Our mission here at Right Flow is to exceed the needs of all our customers while providing all of our services at an affordable rate. We're committed to going above and beyond where the job is done right. Give your property the care it deserves. Call Right Flow today at 409-363-2565 or go to rightflowwashandlawn.com.
Hey y'all, this is recording artist Morgan Miles, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio Podcast and on the sportsguyspodcast.com. And be sure to follow me at my website, morganmileslive.com.
And back here, Ward Davis on the program. So, mentioned about the one to lead off the record, but man, if there was one to catch it, and we talked about the single with you and Juliana Rankin, Nothing on You. This one had to be just you getting on a bar stool. I can just play it on a jukebox. If I say B5 or D6, this would be one of those tunes that I'd sit back and go, that's good old country western two-stepping around a dance floor that I would want to talk about. Wouldn't want to be me right now. That just fit your voice and fit everything you're about, didn't it?
Yeah, dude. That song's 15 years old. I wrote it with Elizabeth Elkins and Vanessa Olivares, and man, it was just one of those good days. We sat in there and hammered it out pretty quick. It felt good, that groove. And it was actually a little bit, it was a lot slower, and it was a lot folkier when I first started playing it and first started fooling with it. Vanessa and Elizabeth ended up booking a demo session and cutting a demo of it. And they kind of threw a little bit of that groove on it. And I really, really dug that. And they pitched it around town and nobody ever cut it. And man, when I went back in to pick songs and recorded it up, I went in and I said, man, I want this to be I almost want it to have a Fleetwood Mac vibe about it, but not too much, but I want it to be I want it to move without moving. And man, the truth, and Eddie Bayers played drums, Brent Mason played guitar, Allison Presswood played bass, Steve Henson played steel. Dude, I had this magnificent band playing, and so that there was no way with those guys in the room that thing was ever going to sound anything but good.
I love it because it's so just genuine. It's so smooth music, man, and it fits that baritone, voice that you have out there too at the same time. Hey, let's go back and relive a little time with Black Cats and Crows. This was one of my favorite ones there. Right there, I know, nervous time, COVID. Everybody's not sure what's going to happen there too. Just a few months after it was, the nation shut down there, March 2020. I was over doing a rodeo show at the Houston Rodeo, and of course they canceled the final week or week and a half, whatever it was. And I said, "Are you kidding me? Country's shutting down." But it was good music like this that kept me through it, and a lot of fans when you had Black Cats and Crows, and a lot of cool stuff on there. You mentioned about just country music being songs people live by or they've lived through, Good and Drunk, and of course Ain't Gonna Be Today, which is one of my favorites off there. Threads was also just one that really kind of did its justice out there. Tell us about that one and relive some memories from that record.
Dude, I will tell you this, like, you go back and listen. So the last song we recorded for Black Cats and Crows was Black Cats and Crows. And we recorded it about a week before everything shut down. And you go listen to it. There's no harmony on that record because we couldn't get anybody. There was no way anybody was going anywhere to put a harmony on anything. And so I just had him, we could mix it remotely. But man, essentially, I finished that record just in time to have a record to put out during COVID. And dude, that might have saved my entire career because that was I mean, I had just sheer luck, had an ace in the hole to break out with during COVID. And at the time, I was signed to 30 Tigers Records. And of course, they needed product to put out during this time. And there I was ready to slap it out. And so there was there was some luck there. I don't, you know, it was, man, we had been having some hard years. I think when COVID hit, dude, I was so far in the hole. I was just like an inch from bankruptcy. So getting that record out and getting those, having that extra traction and dude, what a weird time. But man, I had a house full of vinyl records and I was signing every one of them, you know, like that's just how it was.
Hey, we all were wondering how to keep making a living during that time. And especially for you guys, I always felt it because I know how, you know, most careers, you know, continue during that time. Musicians, though, when you can't tour, boy, it hurts the pocketbook and you have to do what you got to do to make ends meet. And that's a tough situation. So I'm glad you shared that with us there, too, because that's the key to perseverance. And then came, I remember, you know, last year you guys, the Bordello sessions, which a lot of cool tracks off of there. Some we've already talked about there, but I love one in particular. If Hollywood don't need you, honey, I still do. And that's definitely definitely one of those songs when you look back at it, you know, you're saying to yourself, you know what, I got a good woman by my side, and if I can hang on to her, it's exactly what I'm going to do. And that song really did justice too.
That's yeah, man. Bob McDill wrote that as old Don Williams song. Yeah, man, I really hate that record. It's really something. I can't stand to listen to it or I can talk about it all right. Man, I was so miserable when I recorded that thing. We were down there. I went down to Key West to record it, man. I had a miserable life back home and I was getting down there and trying to get away from it. And I guess nobody had told me that, you know, going somewhere doesn't really get rid of your problems. So I went down there, man. I was just I listened to it now and I was so miserable. And my manager, he was like, oh, yeah, it's very authentic and feels your pain. And blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, it sounds bad. But, you know, we had an investment there and, I wouldn't have put it out, honestly. Like, I just straight up. I hope curiosity drives people to listen to it because we sure use the streams, but it's not very good. I sound like a sad mopey man. When I was approached by this record label, Monarch Records in New York, and they wanted to do business with me and basically let me do everything on my own terms. Never seen a contract quite like it. And we told them that we wanted to put that Bordello sessions out first, and they said, "Hey, we want it." And so, man, they took it and they ran it, and it's their problem now.
It's their problem now, no doubt. I love titles to songs. This is really cool off this new one coming up again. Pre-save now. Here I am across all the DSPs now too. But Stray Dogs and Alley Cats. Let's dive into this one too.
Ooh, man, this is a sordid affair. Man, back in the day, I think my second publishing deal, I was writing for a guy named Mark Allen Springer. I was making $800 a month, and I had a side gig at Applebee's. I waited at Applebee's, and there's a songwriter named Harley Allen. He's just one of the best songwriters that's ever lived. But man, he treated me like, he just treated me like gum on his shoe, dude. That's the best way I can describe it. He was really hard on me because he knew I was a songwriter, and he was just an asshole to me, man. And I hated that because I actually had a Harley Allen CD at my house that I just worshipped, man. I mean, he wrote these. I don't know. You remember The Little Girl, the John Michael Montgomery song, The Little Girl? He wrote that.
Yes. Yep.
He wrote Tough Little Boys. He wrote She's All I See Between the Devil and Me. And more, man. He's just this really great, one of my favorite songwriters in the world. And he just treated me he treated me poorly. And he wrote that song. He wrote Stray Dogs and Alley Cats. And man, that was it. for that to happen broke my heart, man. I love that song. I love that song. And that you're talking 20 years ago, man. And this song has just stayed in my heart and stayed in my belly and stayed in my head. And, man, we were in the studio, and man, who doesn't want to go and record one of their favorite songs? How fun is this to get to just sing one of my favorite songs? So Harley passed away a few years ago, and sadly, man, he was actually, everybody has their things. I don't hold anything. He was kind of a jerk to me, but who knows what he was going through when he was. But man, I love that song, and I just figure, man, when you know about a song that's so good, spreads such a positive, honest message, man, it's almost like you got to get that out for people, man. Let them hear it, I hope that, and I hope Harlow's up in heaven, and I hope he heard it, and I hope he hates every note I sang.
Well, it's a great song, like you said. Expose it to the public too, and let them make a choice for themselves too. Hey, in closing, we'll do a couple of more here too. But I appreciate you being on with us today and to spreading all this great music and having a good time with us here and all this, and telling us some great stories over your experience and years. It's so much talent saturated now in the industry. So many ladies are doing their things. I mentioned, Miss Rankin out there too, but you look at the tear like Ella Langley's been on, and of course, Queen Bee, Lainey Wilson, and some of these other ones, Priscilla Block and Hannah Ellis, May Estes, and then names go on, no doubt. What's your thoughts on this class of ladies right now as they're starting to come into their own?
Dude, I did a writer's round with May Estes last week from Hope, Arkansas. And buddy, she blew, man, she sang a song that hurt me so bad. Like, I'm not even kidding. I sat over there and she made me feel like a bad person with one of her songs. It was so freaking good. May Estes, man. Yeah, I'm glad you said that name, because I was about to if you didn't. Man, I think it's great. I think it's great. Dude, anybody that puts their heart in this, and anybody, boy or girl, man or woman, man, it's great to see anybody have success with good songs and good music. And we all hammer around on the Nashville system and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of good people out there making music and having success, and man, good on them. And yeah, it really is great to see these gals, man. I am I grew up on Coat of Many Colors, so Dolly Parton and Loretta and all of them, man. So it tickles me. Yeah. As long as it's good,
Yeah, they're great ladies, and they're doing their thing, and it's about time they got their call on country radio too, which is awesome. I wanted to ask you about some sports stuff out there too. I know, look, Super Bowl 60 is coming up there too. Seahawks and Patriots. Did you watch any of these NFL playoffs? What's your escape when you're not doing music? Is it sports? Is it hunting and fishing? What is it?
Man, I don't keep up with it at all. I've got a thread of a text thread with me and a bunch of buddies from high school and college, and man, they love sports and they talk about it all the time. And I'll get on there just to irritate them and try to talk about it, and they all get mad because I don't know what I'm talking about. But man, when I'm not out on the road, I've got when you get divorced, somebody gets the house. I got the house, and it's a big house. So I got a big house to keep up. I got a big yard to keep up. I got my girls. I got a girlfriend. So, and she lives off somewhere just a few hours up the road. So, man, I do a lot of, I've been doing a lot of work with Operation Song, which is a nonprofit organization that takes songwriters out to veterans and active duty servicemen and women. And it's I don't know if you've ever heard of Operation Song, man, but it's this organization my friend Bob Regan started. Bob and I co-wrote Get to Work Whiskey, if you're familiar with that one. And I Got You and several others, but Man, basically, I'll tell you what we did this past week, man. I flew out to Honolulu, and I sat with a guy named Jim Hickerson and his wife Carol. And Jim was shot down in the South China Sea in 1967, and he spent 5.5 years in the Hanoi Hilton in a POW camp, just having the hell beat out of him every day of his life for 5.5 years. And for what all he did, man, he held himself together, and he stayed alive, and he got home, and he had this this story to tell. And we sat there and we listened to him, and we listened to his wife Carol, and we wrote a song about it with them there, with them. We wrote a song with them. And in Jim's case, it was more of a preservation of his story and of Carol's story. Her first husband was MIA for 7 years, from 1967 to 74. And she was actually the founder and the first real advocate for the POW MIA movement. She was the one that gathered all the wives and took them to the White House. And we wrote a song with her as well. And man, it's this. They do that with that for preservation, and man, they also go and do it with these warriors and these heroes who have not gotten to deal with the things that they saw and the things that they did. And you hear some of these stories, man, and it is unimaginable. And for them to sit there and pour it out, and they give you the honor to write it down and put it into music, and man, it's this thing that everybody gets this great experience from, and this therapy. And man, I'm just really lucky that I get to be a part of that. So I guess your answer is I don't have a hobby. But man, if anybody takes anything else away from this interview other than, stream my record, and I'd say even more so, it'd be go to operationsong.org and check out what they're doing. And I'm a part of it, and I'm bringing Jinx in, and it's been really cool, man.
It's awesome what you're doing right there, and also giving back, man, is something that's definitely one of those important things out there. A lot of musicians do these days too for a good cause, and we appreciate that too as well. I got to ask you about this one. Favorite food to cook, or somewhere around Tennessee right there, is there like one of those hole in the wall places you go to dine in?
Man, my favorite meal to cook, which I have, dude, golly, this makes me sick. I had just perfected, and I mean just figured out how to cook potatoes like they taste like when my mama would cook them. Like I just figured it out. And then I got a perforated diverticulitis in my colon, and I had to cut Crisco out of my life. And I can't fry Mama's potatoes without Crisco, dude. And so, yeah, what's my favorite thing to cook? Mama's potatoes. Will I ever have them again? Yes, but it's going to be a while.
Be a while, no doubt. Well, I tell you what, this record is as good as the other ones, no doubt about it, if not better. And I tell you what, he just keeps getting better, perfected his craft out there. For all you younger artists, you can find a lot in this great guy out here. WardDavisMusic.com for all the tour dates. Here I Am is the album currently available for pre-sale right now, and pre-save out there across all the digital streaming platforms. So Here I Am out February 13th, and WardDavisMusic.com for more information out there too as we count down to Country Radio Seminar March 18th to 20th. We'll be there, and we got some surprises for you coming up this year in Nashville, Tennessee at the Omni Hotel. Ward, appreciate the time. Hope you enjoyed the chat, and my friend, looking forward to doing this again, no doubt.
Dude, anytime, man. Thank you for having me on.
Got it. Ward Davis, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, and our friends again, THWN.org, and of course the Sports Guys Podcast.com. Take care. We'll see you soon. God bless.
Hey, everybody, this is Jarrett Ray Reddick, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream on the SportsGuysPodcast.com and on THWN.org and on iHeartRadio Podcast.